I really fucking love snacks. Hello and welcome to Snack Time. I'm your host, Lindsay Adams. Thank you for listening. If you love this podcast, make sure you subscribe, leave a review, boost it up, bitches. Anyway, today I am excited to have an old friend on the podcast who is a hilarious comedian. He writes on a bajillion shows. He's been on Comedy Central, blah, 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 blah. And he's going to talk about his favorite childhood snack. Will Miles,
What up?
welcome.
How's it going?
Good. Thank you for
Thanks for
joining
having me.
me on Snack Time to discuss everything except for your comedy. Oh wait,
Yeah,
Joe Pat, there we go. I wa-
yeah,
Shout out to CJ Toldano and Jamel did it too.
yeah.
So the whole follow through. Now I just got to get Rob. Um,
Follow through. Watch Sneak
Follow
This
through
on YouTube.
studios.
Yeah.
If you don't know, he's wearing a hat if you're listening to it. I also just like always assume nobody listens to this podcast, which isn't completely true because I very much value the people that do, but I'm always like, nobody's gonna hear this. And then my mom is like, why did you say that?
Yep.
Okay,
I assume
anyway.
you listen to anything I do.
Oh wait, I can't. You are muted. Okay, sorry, technical difficulties. Anyway, I'm sorry I'm not a magician. Well, Miles, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. I hope you're excited to talk about snacks.
Always excited to talk about snacks.
Good. I
Yeah,
mean, who isn't?
yeah. I mean, it's a big portion of my life, which I'm sure we'll get into.
Yes. So for the purpose of this podcast, I asked you what your favorite childhood snack is, and you have what I would consider a weird one and maybe debatably a meal, grilled cheese with New England clam chowder. So
It's
very specific.
it's for sure a whole meal. That's the thing.
I mean, look, it's not a whole pizza, so debatable, but also, okay, so give me the backstory on your grilled cheese and New England clam chowder snack.
So it was one of those things where, like, I'm a latchkey kid, I should say. So I was. I'm
You
an adult now, but I was a latchkey kid. But so my like, that's just when your parents both work, or you have one parent and that person works. But so it's basically like what was in the cabinet, and I remember clam chowder being in the cabinet, and I always liked to like watch my mom cook, and then try to figure out what she was doing and try to cook with her. Uh,
Yeah.
so then, like when it was just me for most of all of high school and a little bit of eighth grade, she was home, but all of high school, actually eighth grade, she was gone. So eighth grade through high school, my mom had a job that was a couple hours away, so she would drive there and drive back.
A
I was
couple
home alone.
hours away?
Yeah, I was in Joliet when we were in Chicago.
Holy shit.
Like it was maybe 2 years of that she had that job where it was like she
Okay.
had to drive a long way. So I was home alone for a lot of time. She worked closer to later years of high school, but I wasn't home at that point. But
Mhm.
but yeah, when she so I would like look in the cabinet and I'd see the clam chowder, and I knew how to make a grilled cheese because that's probably the easiest thing you could know how to make is a grilled cheese sandwich. So
Yeah.
when I come home from work, and not work, when I come from school, I was like, "What can I eat?" And so, it just became that thing where I'd get home and I'd be like, "The Wayans Brothers is on, WGN,
Mm.
Amy Fox show's on." So I had the TV right there, and the kitchen you could see the TV. So I was like, I'm hungry, and I don't feel like chips and salsa / fake ass nachos right now. So let me cook the grilled cheese sandwich. And then I saw clam chowder in there. And I'm lactose intolerant, by the way, so it was a horrible choice, but I would have grilled cheese. I'd have my
But
grilled
do
cheese
they
clam chowder. I'd be like, this is delicious.
this is delicious, and then you'd be like, "I'm so ill right
Yeah.
now. This is not." I mean, New England clam chowder is a delicious it's like a luxury chowder. That's,
Yeah.
like, always the choice. Although as an adult, I feel like cream-based soups, I can't do.
And
But
that's
when
the
I was
thing
a
about
kid
lactose intolerant, it hits you so hard the older you get that you're like, "Oh, this is now a death wish if I eat clam chowder."
totally. But, like, as a kid, also texturally, I feel like anything that was creamy, I was like, "This is like savory pudding."
Mhm,
Like
mhm. Yeah,
like, I
yeah,
was really into the idea of that, and I fucking love, clams. Alright, was there a specific brand that you
yeah.
guys had? What was
Campbell's
it?
Chunky. Campbell's Chunky had the best,
Campbell's
clam chowder.
Chunky. Alright, I see that. That's fucking okay, I love that. When you made your grilled cheese, let's be specific, though, because I didn't
Mhm.
know I actually, like I don't know if I ever made grilled cheeses. I kind of did. I would put but it would be open face because we always had a toaster
Ooh,
oven,
that's good, yeah.
and so we it would just be, like, dry toast. I didn't know you were supposed to butter the toast when you made grilled cheese until I was an adult.
The buttering of the toast made a huge difference because that
Yeah.
was like I loved butter growing up. I used to eat butter sometimes, so
Ugh. Oh my god, I
Yeah,
love
there was a
that's
dark
the, like, the best fat kid thing to say.
Yeah.
I did too, I rolled it in sugar.
Oh, yeah, that's probably delicious. I didn't even eat
Yeah.
sweets until, like, a few years ago, but I was always
Wow.
butter-based. Anything, like, savory, butter-based, that was my shit back in the day. Snacks were all butter-based, so it was like there's, like, cookies that have I mean, the soft baked cookies all have butter mainly. Butter is the main ingredient. So those I fucked with a little
Interesting.
bit, but it was mostly like I gotta have a savory thing. Give me a something with butter and I'm on board. And this
Okay.
so yeah, my grilled cheese probably had too much butter back in the day.
Did you use American cheese or did you use, like, a real cheese?
American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I didn't
feel
know about
like
grilled cheese.
I only knew see, like, we weren't allowed to have American we, like, could only have, like, all natural stuff, and so I always wanted American cheese, and, until I was, like, a little bit older, and then we did, but, like, now I'm like, "That tastes like asshole." Like, that's, like, the worst tasting cheese I've ever
American?
had in my life. Yeah.
See, Horizon Organic makes an American, and that's the same milk company that we use for our daughter. And that so
Yeah.
it's really good milk, and so the American cheese that Horizon has is delicious. It's a
Okay, fair, and you still eat
yeah.
it and make yourself sick?
I had it one day. Haven't done the clam chowder with it, but I did the grilled cheese, and it's still pretty
Okay.
good.
In a pan? I didn't know you could saute it or not saute it, but you
Mhm.
know what I mean, like, put it in a fucking pan. Also, people are saying mayo, like a mayo base, like, if you put
Yeah, I know.
mayo on the outside instead of butter,
I'm not a
that it's
fan.
better?
I David Bory
You
told
don't
me
like
about that, and I gave it a shot, and I'm still butter. Give me butter.
you don't like it? Do you like mayo in general?
I love it, which is shocking.
Yes!
Yeah, I know,
Oh my
especially based on the movie
god.
Undercover Brother. Undercover Brother, they made a big deal out of black people like mayo, but I was like, "Mayo's good. I don't know what y'all talking about."
Mayo is so fucking good.
Yeah.
Nick hates mayo, like,
Really?
hates
Yeah.
it. Yeah, like, if I love dipping things in mayo, so it's like I
Right.
made, like, jicama fries last night and,
Right.
like, just dipped them in mayo and was like, "This is amazing," and people
Mhm.
are like, "That's so disgusting." But I will
That's
also say if you
great.
get organic mayo, it tastes extra good.
Yeah, and I have, truffle mayo right now that, that Truff company,
Ooh.
they make hot sauce.
Yes.
So have a mayo, and it's pretty delicious. And they have a pasta sauce that's unbelievable. Uh,
Really? You're
yeah,
just
yeah.
plugging brands like
I know
crazy
Truff
on
is the shit.
here.
Follow through, go watch Sneak This, Tom Sachs, send me some shoes.
Horizon Milk. This
Yeah,
is truly are you just trying to get me sponsorships because I'm here for
I
it?
would love it. Yeah.
I keep
No,
threatening to get a PO box so that people could just send me food, and it's like I should get a Patreon instead so people can send me money to pay for the PO box, but instead
yeah.
I'm like, I'm like, "What about if you guys just send me food?" I'm so desperate for every episode. I have to stop talking about it. Every episode, I'm like, "Can someone please send me special edition food?"
There's no reason Nabisco shouldn't be sponsoring this podcast.
I mean, except for me, some of the content is probably not, like, Nabisco friendly, but if we could get, like, a brand that's, like, chill and
Yeah.
cool,
Oh, you
that
know,
would be
I'm gonna promote, Not Milk right now. It's a
yes.
it's a plant-based alternative milk called Not Milk. It's
Okay.
delicious. It's the best. It tastes just like real milk. I can't remember real milk too well, but because 'cause I've been
I
lactose tolerant since
remember
4th
real milk.
grade. I haven't had a glass of real milk since 4th grade, but this new milk I've had, Not Milk, is great, and if they ever wanna reach out to Snack Time or to me personally and give us all money, that'd be great.
Oh my god, I love it. Great. Well, you heard it here first. Okay, so I'm gonna help you get to know your favorite snack a little bit better. I'm gonna quiz you and see
Okay.
if you know your shit via two truths and a lie. So I'm gonna
Ooh.
give you how to play, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's do
So
this, I'm ready.
you have to find the lie. Okay, here we go. The first three statements. In the UK, they call grilled cheese a cheese toasty. 2, they used to call it a cheese dream in America. 3, in the Bahamas, they call grilled cheese American toast.
Wow. I think the cheese dream is the lie.
Okay, and you would be wrong
Really?
because yes, in the 1920s until like around 1970, if you went to a diner, you would order a cheese dream.
That's way better than grilled cheese.
Isn't
That's
that it also is like appropriate for how delicious it is?
yeah.
Like, it really if you like, imagine if you were, like, at I mean, it's like the same thing, it's like a tuna melt or patty melt sounds so much better than you're like, "Do you want hamburger meat with melted cheese?" And you're like, "Fuck you." You're like, "That's disgusting, you, like,
Yeah.
witch. You've got, like, some psycho in the kitchen just using scraps, but you call it a cheese dream?"
Yeah, that's delicious. And, like, who was
It's
it
also
targeted for, I wonder?
I mean, I it was also like it was also people being like like scarcity of food like in the
Yeah, yeah.
1920s and like that like that's kind of like people were eating that for dinner. It's like to be honest, you're pretty privileged to have it as a snack
I know, I know.
because this was a full dinner for people in the 1920s. No, yeah, it was like
Since having a kid, it has been my meal sometimes,
I mean,
just
yeah,
out of
I mean,
pure forgetting to eat.
you just eat the crust? Is Stella eating, like, food? I don't know
Yeah, yeah.
anything about babies.
She's, like, 15 months, so they start eating food around 8 or 9 months, so she's been, like she eats with us now. It started out as just, like, baby shit, but now it's just like, "Oh, if I make her stuff, I'm gonna eat it too." So it's
So you
like
might as well
yeah,
make, like, shit you wanna eat.
yep, and so now we just eat the same thing. But it's
That's what my
sometimes it's like,
parents used to
"I don't wanna eat
do.
this." Yeah, yeah.
My parents
Well,
would be like, "Here's some couscous," and I was like, "Fuck you." Like, I want, like, a microwave meal, and they were like, "Yeah, anyway, here's some delicious homemade, linguine and clam sauce," and I was like, "You guys are monsters."
yeah, that's what we are. We're monsters.
You're like,
Well,
"How why are you giving me this?" What does
she
she
likes
like?
couscous now. She loves couscous.
Does she?
That yeah, that feels like a win somehow. I'm
That is
like,
a win.
I didn't eat
Well,
this shit till, like, 2 years ago."
do you give her sushi at all?
No, not yet. I don't know when you can do that. I'm still
Yeah, I don't
unclear.
know when it's, like, fair to we went to, like, sushi restaurants when we were kids,
Mhm.
and, like, my parents, like, always tried to make it seem like, if they were with their friends and we were with their kids, they would be like, "Ooh, I bet you guys don't wanna try this crazy salmon," and we'd be
Yeah,
like, "Yeah, we do."
yeah.
And so that's what it turned into her to be like, but I also feel like Sel's gonna be like an LA kid.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
everybody's in LA. I feel like LA kids are just like you also get such a better mix of international food than where I grew
Yeah.
up.
Where'd you grow up again?
So New Jersey, like
Right, yeah,
middle of
yeah.
nowhere New Jersey though.
Yeah,
So it
yeah.
really was like pasta, seafood, sandwiches. Like we weren't like innovating really.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm from the Midwest, so we just had, like, you know, fast food begins in the Midwest and then goes everywhere else, so we had, like my mom would cook a lot, but during those
Yeah.
years when she wasn't home, it was like, "What's for dinner? What can we make real quick?" That kinda thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For reference for anybody listening, Will and I met in Chicago. I started doing stand up and his show was the first, or his mic was the first, one of the first mics I went
Oh,
to.
really?
Two
Wow,
black,
nice.
two black dudes
Love
in
to
an
get into
open
that,
mic.
yeah.
It was the longest mic I've ever been to in my life, but also the most fun. Town Hall Pub, you and Clark Jones. It was so fun, and I remember, like, when I started, I was so intimidated, but so excited to be there.
Nice.
Um, yeah, so it was a great, great memory. Did you know that the McDonald's, the Rock and Roll is it called Rock and Roll McDonald's?
Yeah,
What is it
yeah.
called? Yeah, the Rock and Roll McDonald's now has international McDonald's treats
Wait, what? I
there.
didn't know that. I would've gone there
Yeah.
for Portillo's.
Yeah, they literally so I just read it somewhere, like, if you go to that McDonald's, you can get, like, the
Spaghetti?
Japanese version of, like, like, whatever their Big Mac is.
Oh, fuck yeah, I'm gonna go.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, hell yeah, that's amazing. That's
I
where I
know,
was
I'm
staying, basically. I never went in there because I was like, you know,
who
I got
cares?
weird memories of rock and roll from high school, but looks way different, but I was like, "This was a nightmare a little bit in high school."
No,
I
it was, like,
found
never
yeah, but it
it
was
was
a lot
not
of
like a
craziness.
destination.
No, God,
Oh,
no.
yeah,
I
it
would
was a
hope
lot
yeah.
of crazy, I forgot. No, now it's like you can get, like, just shit from all around the world there.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna definitely do that.
Yeah, please go and report back because I really want to, and if I go to Chicago, I'm gonna go for sure, but,
Yeah,
um,
yeah. Damn, that's cool.
legit, Chicago innovating, look at it.
I know, right? Yeah,
But,
there's McDonald's was special growing up in Chicago. I mean, in high school, for listeners who know Chicago, I went to Whitney Young, and so it was
yeah.
like right down the street from Whitney Young is this McDonald's on Jackson and State, and that's where we'd all go after school all the time. Like, and there'd be kids from Kenwood, from Lincoln Park, like all over the city, who would all come to
Yeah.
this McDonald's, and there's like freestyling going on, and graffiti artists
Oh,
met up.
that was the
Like,
spot?
that was the spot, yeah, in the whole city, and it was right by Harold Washington Center, I think. I don't know what it was called,
Yeah.
but
I
yeah,
think
it
I
was
know the one you're talking about,
yeah, that was like the spot.
'cause I went to Columbia College down
Oh,
there.
yeah, definitely. That's where Columbia kids would
S
come too.
Yeah, it was like and that's so wild. Yeah, because I remember Whitney Young being down there and, like, seeing all, like, the high school kids and shit,
Yeah,
and
causing ruckus.
what a weird area though too, because, like, it was catered to adults, and yet it was, like,
Yeah,
a massive population of kids. Like, they had the chain stuff, but I remember when I was there, like, it was super limited in terms of hangout spots. They had a coffee shop called
mhm,
Gourmand that closed. But, I remember, like, in between classes, the only choice was, like, this, like, sushi place that was so overpriced, and we would just go in and get
yeah,
edamame because we couldn't afford anything, so we were just like, "I guess this is where we're hanging out."
yeah. There's, like,
But,
high-end, Asian cuisines around there, and it
yeah, it
definitely
was
seemed good, like,
super
in high school.
Yeah, there was, like, Bar Louie and stuff, but, like, when you're young I mean, when you're under 21, you, like, can't get into certain places, like,
Yeah,
after so it was, like, weird, but that's fun. So the McDonald's down there was dope. You're gonna go to the other one.
yeah,
Um,
well, this is a different story, but yeah, that was, like, post-prom.
let's
Yeah.
Oh, post-prom, how fun.
I know, right?
At least you
Cheesecake
guys
Factory.
didn't Ah, the Cheesecake
The one
Factory.
under Hancock. I went there after, junior prom. We went to the Hancock Center Cheesecake Factory.
I went on a Craigslist, date at the Cheesecake Factory at the Hancock Center in college.
How was it?
There was a guy when Craigslist was, like, not as, like, fucking I don't know who uses Craigslist anymore except for apartments, but and,
Mhm.
like, selling stuff, but, like, if you went into, like, strictly platonic, that was kind of the safe space where you weren't gonna get people that were like, "Let me eat your ass," or like, "Big tits, fat dick," like, all of, like, the you know what I mean? So, it was like, if you went to strictly platonic, that was, like, essentially where you were dating. And this guy had posted that he had a gift certificate to the Cheesecake Factory, and he was like, "It doesn't have to be a date, it can just be" but it was like he wanted it to be a date, and he was like, "Just someone to go with, you get free dinner." And so I wrote, like, something, and I got to go, and we hated each other.
Oh, no.
Um, we just didn't get along. It was like, everything we said, we disagreed on. Not in, like, a violent way, but he would be like, "I hate cheesecake," and I would be like, "I love cheesecake," and he'd be like, "Okay, moving on. I hate sports. I love sports." Like and so it was just, like, the most we were like, "Okay, great," and then I would, like, really made sure we spent the whole, gift certificate. I was like, "Is there any money left? Can we please?" And he was, like,
Yeah,
for sure annoyed. Um,
but it's like they got
w
a vast menu, you could get anything there.
I mean, you can get to go. I might have already told this story on this podcast because now I'm remembering I'm really obsessed with Maggiano's and the way you can take
Yes.
home a meal.
Yes.
Like,
Maggiano's, Olive Garden was huge. Uh,
ugh,
what was the other one? Oh, shit. Well, Wow Bao, when that opened in the water tower, Wow Bao, we were going
yes.
there and being like, "What the fuck is a bao? This is amazing." You know, cut
I
to
used to
last year, I found out I was Taiwanese, but like on Ancestry or whatever, but it's like I had no idea
That's
what anything was back
crazy.
in
How
the day.
much Taiwanese?
Something like 15 to 20%, something like that, like very high.
Yo, that's
Surprisingly high,
significant.
right, yeah.
That's significant for sure. Nick is Native American, but they because of the way, like 23andMe and Ancestry.com, the way that they don't have basically because we killed all the Native Americans,
Right. Yeah, yeah.
they don't really have like genealogy or like associated. So they just don't put it in because they're
I
like,
noticed that, yeah.
I
But
don't
everybody
know.
black is maybe everybody white even is too, if you're from here. I think there was so
Yeah.
much, like, fucking going on in between and obviously non-consensual fucking amongst, the whites, back in the day, but I'm like, I think a lot of
Well,
people
the
are
what
mixed up and don't even know it. Like,
Totally, absolutely. Everybody's super fucking mixed up. I mean, I'm 100% white, just to be clear. And there's literally 0 mix in my
yeah,
blood. It's
that's funny.
99.9% Ashkenazi Jew.
Oh, wow,
So,
yeah.
I didn't do it, my sister did, and I got excited because I thought maybe there would be, like, something cool, and it was like, no, pretty boring, just
Yeah, yeah.
pretty basic. So, um, but let me get into the next set
Oh, yeah.
of two truths and a lie so we can get into this because you obviously failed, so you're not good at this. And I'm excited about that. Okay, so the next three statements. One, the most expensive grilled cheese was $28,000.
Jesus.
2, New England clam chowder is also called Boston style clam chowder. 3, New England clam chowder is the third most popular soup ordered in the US.
That's a tough one, alright. I don't think it's
It
called
is.
Boston style, uh,
Okay.
so I'm gonna go with that one.
Okay, and you'd be wrong.
I don't know. Is it the
You
last one?
Yeah, no, it's the last one. It's actually tied with chicken noodle soup as the most ordered soup at restaurants.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? So, like, I think, like, I mean, granted, I don't know where this information comes from. I just Google stuff and then it, like, and then I run with it. So
Yeah.
it's like, it could be like just some man in his basement, but who like talked to one diner and was like, fair. Um,
I agree with you. Yeah, so it must be
but
true.
but we'll make it grandiose for the sake of this. But yeah, it's tied. That makes sense though, because like I feel like yeah, I mean, anytime I went to a diner, like, growing up or in high school, it was always, like, one or the other. They always had minestrone, but it was, like,
Mhm, mhm.
2nd tier, like,
Yeah, I
really
agree.
not what you exactly wanted. Maybe a little bit of, Italian wedding soup. That would have
Never had
been
that until later, and then no,
really
I had an Italian one no.
the nice thing is I had all the Italian foods growing up,
Oh, that's good, yeah.
but now well, your wife is
Yeah. Our daughter's
Italian.
great when we, go to her in Italian, it's called Nona's house,
Yeah.
and so, like, she'll make stuff because she spent almost 30 years in Italy, growing up. She didn't they her parents didn't
Whoa.
move here till late in life. So, like,
Yeah.
they have a lot of, just shit they used to cook well, mom really, shit she used to cook back in the day, I guess, and so our daughter's
Yeah.
eating that now, which is cool. So it's like, "Oh, you're getting, like, genuine shit." Like, not
Fuck yeah. That's what I would get lucky and go over to I would get lucky and go over to friends' houses who
Yeah.
had known as that, like, made, like, homemade gravy and, like, all of that shit. Um, and being yeah, which was really nice, and, like, the baked ziti and
Mhm,
the
mhm.
prosciutto, I
Yeah,
just made
I
that
just
up.
made a baked ziti the other day.
Did you? Baked
Yeah,
ziti is so fucking good.
it
It's
is, it really is.
absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's kinda
Um,
nuts. Stella loved it too, which I was excited about. I was like, "Great,
who
that's cool."
doesn't? It's
Yeah.
giant chunks of pasta like in melted cheese. It's essentially like Italian nachos.
Yeah, it is, it really is, it's a good call. And, like, ground
It's
beef
a
if you want it in there or ground, turkey, ground
so
beef, chicken.
fucking good.
Yeah,
All the smoked meats. Italian food really is like a fucking delicious treat.
yeah,
Also, Italian pastries. Gotta say.
yeah, yeah.
It's how I know you're not a sweets person, but
I
I
am
would fuck
lately.
up a cannoli
Yeah, yeah.
in
It's funny
the
too 'cause, like, spaghetti is a side dish in, like, black food, soul food kinda shit, so
yeah.
it is funny to, like, have these interactions with my, mother and father-in-law and be like, "No, spaghetti, yeah, we eat fish and spaghetti." It's like, "What? What are you doing? Spaghetti's its own thing." It's like, "No, no, 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 it's a side dish in our other shit."
That's so wild. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
spaghetti's a full ass meal.
Yeah, I know.
It's a full ass also, I can't even really eat spaghetti anymore. I, like, can't Nick and I tried to make homemade pasta last it was either Christmas or New Year's as
Mhm.
just, like, an activity in quarantine, and, like, it was really good, but I truly could only eat so much
And you felt
because it
sick,
was
right?
like yeah.
Me
Well,
too. I don't know, is
also
that an age thing? What's going on with that?
well, here's the thing I do know is that in Europe, there all the food ingredients are way better and
Yeah.
there is a difference in the flour that you use to make pasta and breads.
Okay,
So
yeah.
like the kind that we use in America is so processed that it's like dead green. Like it's like it's at its like deadest
Oh,
form. It has the
okay.
least amount of nutrients. And so when depending on where you go, obviously, if you go to Europe, a lot of people find who are like gluten intolerant or whatever that they can like go and eat pasta and they feel fine.
That's what, because my wife went back, she went all around Italy and France and shit for doing comedy last year or 2 years,
Yeah.
whenever before the pandemic, and she was like, "We're both lactose intolerant." But she was eating cheese all the time, she was eating bread,
Mhm.
and she wasn't, feeling bad at all. I was like, "Damn, that's we gotta go." And then we were supposed to go back maybe as like a
Yeah.
honeymoon activity, but obviously the world shut down and then all jobs were gone, so that went out the window.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
understood. We didn't even like think of a honeymoon. We were like, we put Airbnb. We didn't want a registry, but like my mom was like, you have to do it. And look, if old people want to
Mhm.
give us money, I'm not going to turn it down. But we put Airbnb gift certificates on there and nobody has gotten it. And that's fine because we don't need any money. But like, I do think that that should have been, you don't want us to
Be
live our
nice.
lives. You want us to cook more? Suck my butt.
Yeah.
Um,
Send us Hello Fresh kits or something, yeah.
I
Make it easier on
know.
us 'cause
Well, we
we're
weren't
gonna
very
cook.
good. We weren't very good about the stuff that we put on there. We just like didn't know because we just didn't plan to like have a registry because it just feels mean to be like, sorry you couldn't come to this wedding, give us
No,
money.
no, I know. That's the same thing.
Um,
It's like, if you wanna give
but
us money, we did get married. We'll put it out here that we got married. Hopefully, that inspires you to send us a gift.
totally. And yeah, exactly. And I also am like pretty straightforward and Jewy about it. So like I'm like, no, this is transactional. This is like the way it is. Nick is really like, we don't want to, and I'm like, nope. Let everybody buy us everything and don't
Yep,
say no. Um,
I'm the same.
but yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, fuck, nobody is going to be able to do like there's no money anywhere for our generation to do anything. So it's like if you're on your way out the door, like if you're like in your 80s and you're on your way out the door and you want to buy me a crock pot, do it.
I
Like
know.
absolutely
Uh,
absolutely. I will not fucking stop you.
I got one.
Um
It's really good.
really?
I
We
have
have
well, we
a
got a pot an estate sale, but everybody there seemed like
Ooh.
it seemed like she was, whoever lived there and probably died, kept things up pretty well, so it's like, it's a good crock pot, I think. But we weren't gonna buy a brand new crock pot, that seems outrageous.
No,
I got
we
the
got an
Instant Pot, yeah.
Instapot. We have
Yeah.
an Instapot with a pressure cooker, and that pressure cooker is like the Lord Almighty.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
it's truly one of the best inventions in the world. And I also it has an air fryer, but I don't know, do you guys have an air fryer?
Yeah, yeah, I was just looking I'm looking in the kitchen right now, which one's up. We go between the Instant Pot or the air fryer, whichever
Yeah,
one's
the
up.
air fryer, the only thing I complaint I have is they make it seem like it's easy to clean, and it's not.
Exactly. That's
Like,
so
if
true.
you've ever made chicken wings in an air fryer, it's fucking terrible.
Yeah. It's you
Y
gotta keep greasing it or whatever, or, like, spraying the
Yeah,
cam on it. It's a lot. Yeah.
I hate it. I'm tapping out of
No,
technology.
it's
Life is so
get into
hard.
it, though. Get into it. It's good. I do like it
Remember
still.
when
I'm mad at it, but I do get into it.
remember when people, like, there was, like, a moment where everybody was like, "We gotta sous vide everything," like, with
Mhm.
the like, "We got it. We everything has to be cooked in a bag in boiling water." There's,
Oh,
like,
yeah, yeah,
no
yeah,
way.
yeah.
They were like it was like, "If you want the fanciest fucking food."
Put it in
Um,
here. Trader Joe's will
ex
help. Yeah.
exactly. I'm like, I legit don't, but okay, whatever you say. Um, oh yeah, and the one fact on that was true, the expensive $28,000 grilled cheese,
Yeah.
uh, that was the one that had I don't know if you ever saw, like, the viral picture, like, it had what looked like the Virgin Mary on it,
Oh,
like,
okay,
the
okay, yeah, yeah.
toast itself.
Butter was yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I remember.
they sold it on eBay 10 years later.
Anybody who believes in something, you can really fool them, right?
I know, you know
It's
what? I literally opened an NFT account yesterday, and I was like, "What if
yeah,
I make the stupidest shit and then sell it
I
for
think you
thousands
can.
of dollars?" So I'm gonna try that. I'll report back how that works. I'm just hoping
I
there's,
think
like, a collector who thinks that I'm, like, Banksy and, like, hidden,
right.
and then it's like, "Give me the goods."
You mean I think Dogecoin was made just somebody fucking around, and then it
Yeah.
was on SNL, and then it went up or whatever, it went down, whatever, I don't know. But Dogecoin was a fuck around thing, and then they made it a big thing. I'm like, "What? You can do that?"
I know everyone's like, "You mean the coin with the dog?" And it's like, nobody's gonna buy that, and now I'm like, "I should have fucking bought that."
Yeah, I did. I made,
We
100
Did
bucks or
you?
something. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ooh, we have Bitcoin, and
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Ethereum, and I'm just gonna, like, let that sit. I don't have enough for it to be anything, but maybe in 20 years.
20 years is so long. But that was a cool thing about Dogecoin. It was just like a few months where you needed to jump
Yeah.
in early.
I'm not very good at, like I'm too hesitant with stuff. Like, I keep stuff in my shopping cart when I do online shopping for, like, over 24 hours. So, there was, like,
Yeah.
no way I was gonna be able to keep up with this as a trend.
That's enough where they send you that email like, "Are you still looking at this?" Oh god.
Yeah.
Okay. Whoops. I
Go
don't know what
ahead,
that was.
answer
Yeah.
your phone call.
No, no.
People used to no. People used to FaceTime me every single time. Like, my random friends would FaceTime me while I was podcasting, so it's fine. Then I learned how to use headphones. Um, okay, so
Oh,
I wanna
yeah.
get into Fuck, Marry, Kill, Polly, which is our version of Fuck, Marry, Kill. We added Polly because, this is a progressive podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So we're gonna play Fuck,
Yeah.
Marry, Kill, Polly with snacks, where you are going to have to choose which snacks you want to fuck, marry, kill, or Polly. Here's how Polly plays into it in this format. Polly is the snack that you have in addition to your married partner. So you can engage as much or as little as you want.
Oh, okay.
Your
Yeah.
married partner is your number one, but this is considered a stable partner.
A third.
However, yeah, a third, yeah. I mean, but it doesn't have to be you can mix it with you can do, like, a threesome, but you can
Right,
also
right.
just okay. So we've got 3 categories, after school snacks, bar snacks, and Chicago faves. So, we're gonna do after school snacks
Okay.
first.
Yeah.
So, here are your choices:
I'm ready.
string cheese, Go-Gurt, a bag of nacho cheese Doritos, the small snack bag, and shark fruit snacks.
Ooh, alright. Um, the thing I'd probably fuck is shark fruit snacks.
Yeah,
It's a hit it and quit it type of thing. The,
for
marry
sure.
is nacho cheese Doritos for sure because those are still a part of my life even after they get healthier. Uh, kill Go-Gurt, I never had yogurt growing up. Uh,
Okay,
I think I tried it because they, like, said something about it with lactose, but I was like, "Nah, I hate it."
sure.
Uh, what was the other one? Polly? Was
String cheese.
string cheese. Yeah, I guess string cheese could work as a poly because it's like cheese is good.
Yeah.
Or I would switch the string cheese with the shark snacks because I would like shark snacks, the fruit snacks, to be a part of, my
Your
longer life.
everyday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. When I want it here and there, and string cheese, just one and done, 'cause I rarely eat string cheese.
No, I agree. You know what? I actually agree with all of your choices.
Yeah.
I think I do. I nacho cheese Doritos. So the small bag I have problems with.
Mhm.
Um, I just feel really deprived, and that's probably just me, but, you go to friends' houses. I don't know if your house is like this. You go to friends' houses, and they would have, like, in their pantry, that snack pack of, like, all the different
Yes. Oh,
snack
yeah.
size, and everyone would always fucking get the stupid Doritos first,
Mhm.
and you have, like, 3 full-size chips of Doritos in that pack.
I know. Yeah, yeah.
Which to me is an atrocity. So it's
Yeah, I
hard
agree.
because it's like, I don't wanna feel limited in my marriage. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't wanna feel held back
I
by
need to
which,
put
like yeah. I
yeah.
feel like I feel like I might feel a little held back by the nacho cheese Doritos, but I would ultimately have to do the same. I used to eat Go-Gurt all the time. We would put Go-Gurt in
Really?
the freezer. Yeah. My mom was
Oh,
like a
that's
big
probably well, frozen yogurt's good. So maybe
frozen
the
yogurt's
frozen
good. I mean, yeah, if you freeze it, it's not bad. I kinda wanna
Yeah,
kill the bag of nacho cheese Doritos, but I just feel like a marriage, you know I don't even like string cheese that much, but I just do feel like they're a pretty stable you know what? I'm gonna go wild. I'm
go
gonna
wild,
marry
yeah,
the Go-Gurt. I'm gonna marry the Go-Gurt because it's versatile, and I am going to fuck the bag of nacho cheese Doritos,
good call.
and because you need some boundaries. And I am going to kill the string cheese because it's always disappointing.
Mhm.
And I'm going to poly with the fruit snacks.
Great, yeah, yeah,
Those are
I
my
agree with
choices.
that, that's how it should be.
I
Holly with
mean,
the fruit
you
snacks.
you can't turn down the shark fruit snacks. It's just there's
Those are
no way
good.
that was going on the kill list. Okay, so
Yeah,
now we have bar snacks. Here
okay.
are your choices.
I'm like, where even
One,
bar is always wasted, so I don't
I know. Well, bar snacks, I always notice, obviously, because I'm sober, but like
Right,
bar
yeah,
snacks are like the most random shit. Okay, so we have one, unshelled salted peanuts,
okay.
two, popcorn, three, pub mix. So like that, like shit where it's like pieces of like
Sesame
Dorito
sticks
pieces,
and shit.
pretzel. Yeah, 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 exactly. And then four, open air pickles.
Open air pickles, I feel like should be killed.
I mean,
Just the open
I
air
agree.
Yeah.
The
Open air, I
open
can't do
air
it.
aspect?
All of it should really be killed because it's so disgusting. I imagine bar
Yeah.
snacks are gone after, COVID, but,
I've seen, popcorn. Popcorn, I live for a free popcorn machine at a
yeah,
bar,
machine is
especially they
was
had
that
the
Town Hall
little
Pub that had it?
Huh? No, Town Hall Pub did not well, did they?
Some place we used to
Maybe.
perform at had free popcorn every now and then.
Fuck, it's
Was
on
it
the tip of
Lottie's
my
maybe? I
tongue.
don't know.
Actually, I think it was Lottie's.
It was Lottie's, yeah, they used to give out free popcorn and it was the shit.
Yeah.
So
Also,
that
like, the
that's gonna be
best.
my marriage. Yeah. I'm gonna marry,
Yeah!
bar popcorn because I had so much fun at Lottie's eating the free popcorn. But and then, so fuck first should be because I have the pub mix because I have been at a place with pub mix, and even though
Yeah.
I'm against, community pretzels and shit, sometimes you're so fucked up that you're like, "I just need something," and the pub mix always does it. Because I don't know if you've
Yeah,
seen the movie
absolutely.
Along Came Polly, but in Along Came Polly, Ben Stiller's profession is risk assessment or risk analyst, and he brings up the fact that it's like touching 10, 12 dirty hands every time you reach into eat something from a bar when one of
Yeah,
those little
it's
things.
disgusting.
It's so gross.
It's it's so gross, and that's why the popcorn is always the best choice because you can
Mhm.
scoop it.
Yes, the
Um,
scooping yourself is what keeps it going.
yeah, you get the little bowls, you scoop it. There's a place out here in the valley where there used to be an open mic, and they would have it, and they would have, like, really good seasoning too that you could put on it,
Yeah,
and that was, like I lived for that. That was
yeah,
dinner plenty nights.
that's not good, but that's
Um,
good.
I know, I know. I think I would, like, generally agree, like, okay, so
Okay, so we're
obviously I'm
fucking
marrying the popcorn.
marrying popcorn, fucking the pub mix,
Yeah,
killing
kill the open air pickles.
open air pickles, and I guess Polly with the peanuts because I
Yeah.
don't want
I
to.
mean,
If they were closed peanuts, like
yeah, they're
I had a
shelled.
minute in bars. Oh, they're shelled.
Well, unshelled means they have the shell on it.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, then I'm on board with that. Then I still
Yeah,
have to break something open to get the peanut.
right. Right.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm piling that because I don't love it
Okay.
like that, but I do. It can be a third, you know.
Yeah.
It's not
I
my
enjoy
first.
the I enjoy the ritual of what you have to do with shelling a peanut. It reminds me of, like, going to, like, a baseball game
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something like that, like a sports event where you can just throw it on the ground. Or I guess there's bars where people just throw the peanut shells on the ground.
You know, I find that to be, disgusting, but
It's absolutely
there are
actually,
bars
the
like
only
that,
one I think I know was in North Dakota. Um,
yeah. I
okay,
know,
in
the
retrospect.
Five Guys gives you the little peanuts on your trip up to the have you ever been to Five Guys?
Yeah, wait, they give you peanuts what, on your trip to the counter?
Yeah, yeah, seriously, because I remember the one back in Chicago, there used to be a little thing of peanuts right here, and you'd be, like, shelling peanuts as you're
The one
going
on
to
Division?
on Clybourne.
Clybourne. There was one on Division too, I remember, I believe.
Yeah, and
Maybe yeah.
there was one by my, on, like, 7th in New York too, on 7th Ave, I think,
Oh, really? I don't
in
really care
Manhattan, yeah.
about Five Guys at all.
I used to love it, I
Um,
don't love it.
I used to think Johnny Rockets was, like, a cool thing, and then I was like, "No,
That's
it's not at all."
I know, it's not.
Um,
There's one in Santa
okay.
Monica, and I did get, like, a little nostalgic for it, though. There's one right by West Side
Yeah,
Commons. Yeah.
they put them at the fucking airport now, and I'm just like, "You know what? You've crossed a line. You put it at
Yeah.
the airport, and you make it less fun for me, and I'm over it, frankly."
I'm done.
Um,
I'm done.
okay, so Chicago Faves is the last category for Fuck, Marry,
Alright.
Kill.
I think I already
Um,
know who I'm going with mine.
okay, well, you don't know what the choices are.
I can feel it. No.
Okay. So, I mean, I wish I had room. There's special mentions that we'll put at the end, but okay, so here are your choices. A tamale from the tamale guy,
Mhm, mhm,
a Chicago style hot dog,
mhm, mhm.
Garrett's cheddar and caramel popcorn, or an Ann Sather cinnamon roll.
Oh god, these are very tough choices. I don't wanna kill any of
I
them, to be
mean,
honest.
I know they're really good and they're like it's just classic stuff. I couldn't put in obviously, it's like deep dish pizza, a slice of deep dish pizza, you've gotta, like, get specific about your pizza
Yeah,
place.
Pequods.
I was gonna
Um,
put Pequods,
Pequods is great.
and then the
Yeah, I don't really I
Portillo's
like
chocolate
Caramel
shake.
Salad. Ooh, I would kill that because I can't have a shake. But,
Yeah, there you go.
no, I think I would marry Chicago hot dogs. They're just a big part of my life. I worked at
Okay.
Murphy's Hot Dogs for, like, a few years, um,
Oh.
for, like, 5 years, starting in high school, so it was a big deal to me for
Where
hot
was
dogs.
that?
It's right on Belmont and, Sheffield. It's not far from Wrigley Field.
Oh! I always went to Flub a Dub Chub. I don't know why. I just literally always ended up there.
It's just such a funny name.
I know.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
So, okay, so I'm marrying hot dogs. Polly would be tamales because I also love them.
yeah,
So, my Polly is definitely the tamale guys. RIP, one of the tamale guys, I heard.
yeah.
Um, then there's popcorn. It's popcorn and cinnamon rolls are the hardest because I would
You don't
both
like
fucking
sweets.
kill those, right? I mean,
Oh,
the
you would
Ann
kill
Souther's
them, like,
cinnamon
eat
roll is
them.
dope though. That cinnamon rolls are like the part of sweets that got in when I was a
Yeah,
kid. Cinnabon was the shit when it was in Water Tower. Yeah, so maybe and the Ann Souther's one is delicious. I like Dinkles more though. So, and somebody just told me
really?
they knew somebody who was like a Dinkles person. So they were like, maybe
I
you can
never
get
had Dinkles.
Dinkles is good. It's on Lincoln Avenue. It's been there since like
Oh.
1902 or some shit. But
I lived across the street from Ann Sather's in
oh yeah,
Lakeview, so I just, I was it was the guy knew us, and we would just
yeah.
go in and get a fucking And it was like $2 for a cinnamon roll the size of a fucking dinner plate.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna kill it because it's already gone. So I'm gonna kill the ancestors.
Okay, all right.
They're already dead, so it's not too hard to kill it. And then Garrett's popcorn, I'll fuck because I'm in and out with popcorn, with the Garrett's at least. Because the caramel is
Interesting.
good for a little bit, the cheese is good, and then it's obviously too much. And then they have the regular popcorn, but you can. It's too easy to overdo Garrett's, even though it
It's
is very good. So
that's a
you just
really good point.
fuck it and get out.
Fuck it and get out.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a really good point. I would kill the tamale. I just was never jazzed about it.
Oh,
I've never been jazzed about a tamale in general.
well, you were sober also.
I was sober, but, like, I mean, look, the idea of the tamale guy showing up to the bar and, like, that whole experience
Mhm,
was
mhm.
really fun,
Yeah,
but the also, it's, like, just so silly thinking about it now, just, like,
it
this
is.
man walking into this bar with, like, like, a side pack of tamales, and everyone was like, "Yeah!"
Beloved, got articles written about them. Like,
We were
what
like,
is
"We
the
literally don't care what's in them."
vibe? I remember at some point somebody bringing up like, "We don't know what their kitchen looks like," or like, "What's going on?"
Yeah,
It's like, true.
exactly.
That's true. What are you
Just
gonna do?
supporting small business. It's also dark, so nobody was,
Yeah,
like, inspecting the food, but it's technically the same as, like I mean, it was, like, just the same as going over a friend's house and, like,
yeah.
pulling shit out of there, but it's just, like, they knew what they were doing.
It was genius because it was always like after you were already drunk and had done your set or something, and then for me it was like I just smoked a joint, and I was always like one because back then we were all very, very broke. So it was a lot of like
Right.
like, "Oh god, I forgot I didn't eat dinner before the show and they didn't give me a free meal, so that was just it for tonight." And
Totally.
I had $10 or something, so it was like, let me figure out what I'm gonna eat since they're,
For sure.
and then they'd always come right in right when you had just smoked a joint and you're like, "Oh, yes, this is the best thing in the world."
Exactly, yeah, and, like, for me, that experience just, like, wasn't obviously the same, so I'm killing the
Yes.
tamale guy, which is, like I'm not killing the tamale guy, I didn't do that, but, the tamale I'm killing, but I love Garrett's popcorn. I like, going off of, to the location over, like, what, Miracle Mile,
Mhm, mhm.
and getting the warm, like, fresh, the
That's true.
warm popcorn was, like, so fucking delicious and good, but I do think I could overdo it and get sick really easily,
Yeah.
and it is really expensive. I feel like I remember that, and Southern cinnamon roll for me was just, like I remember Nick and I were doing the 4-hour body diet, like Tim Ferriss. Did you ever hear of this? It's
Is that when
so
you only eat
stupid.
for 4 hours?
No, it's like essentially keto, but like not really. Like it's like you can really only eat like a super limited amount of things. And then you have one cheat day where you can eat whatever you want and you're supposed to like go crazy. And so I just remember eating mac and cheese and getting an Ann Souther cinnamon roll and like
Mm.
it made me so fucking sick.
Yeah,
Um
it sounds like it.
there's, like, none
Mac
of
and
these
cheese and a
foods that,
cinnamon
like
roll.
none of these foods that wouldn't make me sick. I like a Chicago style hot dog, but I don't need it all the time. So
Yeah,
I would for nostalgia's sake, I would probably marry Ann Souther cinnamon roll.
that makes sense.
Um, because I don't have to I have time. I don't have to eat the
Mhm.
whole thing at once. I could take my time. We have a long courtship.
Forever,
Yeah, grow together. Um And then I would poly with the Chicago style hot dog because every now and then you gotta get in. You gotta do it. I'm not like a big hot dog person unless it's like burnt on a fire.
Yes.
For some reason, I need like the gross ass. I need it to be like a true camping experience where it's like cold but burnt and sitting out for like 3 hours.
The
on a
proper
soggy
hot
bun.
dog is charred, by the way, for the
Is
list.
it?
Yeah, yeah, the proper Chicago style hot dog is not one of those boiled ones. That's
No.
bullshit.
Boiled hot dogs are bullshit. I,
Yeah,
like, fully agree with that. I, like, can't even believe people have tried to convince us that that was, like, an acceptable way to cook a hot dog.
I agree. It's unbelievable.
Never mind the fact that hot dogs don't need to be cooked. Like, the idea of boiling already cooked meat too, it's just like, who the fuck do you think you are?
Yeah.
Like, what do
That
you put
also
salami in a
makes you
fucking
think, like,
boiler?
about what you're eating too, which nobody wants to think about when you're eating a hot dog. You're like, "I don't wanna think
Yeah,
about the fact that all you have to do is boil it." That's gross.
yeah, that's trash.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would poly with the Chicago style hot dog, and then I would fuck the cheddar caramel popcorn because and it would be look, it would be a good fuck. It would be like top like, if people were like, why do you keep getting together with Garrett's?" I would be
Yeah.
like, "Because they have given me the best sex of my life.
Yeah.
That's why,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
this is like a great partnership, but obviously can't overdo it, can't have it, not a life partner,
No.
unhealthy, you
It's gonna
know,
have to break up, it's gonna be a bad breakup.
it's gonna be a bad breakup. And like it's like one of those things you can't like cheat on your partner with it because you get the dust on your fingers.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Or they're inexplicably sticky from the caramel, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's like it's really not it's also not the walk of shame associated with fucking the Garretts means that it's gotta be somewhat limited, but absolutely worth it.
There's also
Um,
the shame of bringing that tin onto, like, the train after you've gone where you're like
that's such a
you're
good
getting so
point.
high or something, or you're just so hungry and you're eating all the shit, and then you, like, close the tin and look around, you're like, "Oh my god, what did I just do?" Some people saw me do
Eating
this.
on the train. I sometimes I miss public transportation and then sometimes I don't at all.
Yeah,
Like, I really love being alone in my car and
true.
listening to music or calling. I was always so like hesitant about making phone calls on the train
Yeah,
and being
yeah.
that person.
Yeah, because when it's loud
So,
New York, I guess people don't care at all, but in Chicago, I definitely felt eyes. But in New
yeah,
York, everybody's kind of an asshole on the and with train etiquette a
for
lot of times,
sure.
especially in the morning, so it's like nobody's really giving a shit about other people in the mornings in New York,
For
but
sure.
Chicago, there's still no making yeah.
I don't miss being close to people.
Right.
Like, I don't miss the personal space situation. Like, I'm thinking about going to New York in January, and I'm like, I'm just gonna need to budget in Uber and Lyft unless I'm,
Mhm.
like, going around Manhattan because there's not a fucking chance I'm sitting on a train for 45 minutes to go into Brooklyn.
Yeah. I did, I was out there in July, and I went out to my buddy Gary's house in Brooklyn, but they had us staying in Manhattan, and so I was
Mhm.
like by the time I got off the train from Manhattan to Brooklyn, I was drenched in sweat, and I was like, "Oh, I forgot
Yeah,
how much I hate this part of this experience."
totally. Well,
Covered
it's
in
like,
sweat.
obviously, you get used to it when you live there, but,
Yeah.
like, I'm like, "Oh, I definitely for a short trip, I 100% don't need to be," especially because 'cause I'm thinking about going in the winter, and it's like, I 100% do not need to be walking through the, like, warehouse district of fucking Bushwick in the middle of the night.
Yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah, no.
don't need to. Well, this is great because one of the things that I loved about this episode is that we agreed on mostly everything.
Yeah,
So especially in terms of fuck, Mary kill, Polly, although I did give choices that I were pretty targeted, but other than that, this has been great. I mean, I your snack is psychotic and perfect. I hope that I've taught you some things, some facts that you'll never need about it.
I'll need these. These are great. They're good to tell other people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's like the talk the next time you're in the writer's room at lunch,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like really like make sure they know
Did you guys know about the,
$28,000.
$28,000 trilogy?
You guys ever hear about this shit? Um, I don't know, maybe that's like dad talk for when you have to talk to dads you don't know
Yeah,
that when
that
you
has
have to
been
take
fun.
Stella to school.
Dad
Has
talk.
that been fun?
I like dad talk. Well, like right now, the dads are like people I know a little bit, so it's like Mike Joyce and Kurt Brownell and stuff. But but sometimes it is like people I don't know, and it's like, oh, cool. So wives, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, husbands. Okay, yeah, husbands, spouses. I should have said spouses. I'm sorry. That's at the playground where like other dads are at the playground. You're like, oh, what are we doing here, right?
That's so funny. I love that. I also love that for you guys because
Yeah,
it's, like, so wild to just it's just weird when you know people for a long time and you're like,
right.
"I guess we're old now,"
I know.
'cause
Yeah.
that's what we talk about, that and digestive issues, which is, like, a pretty hot topic on this podcast, to be
Always.
honest.
It's also
Um
when your parents become grandparents, so every time you refer to your
Ooh,
mom and dad, you're referring to grandma and pop, and you're like, "What's going on? That's been mom and dad for, like, almost 40 years." Now they're all of a
so
sudden.
weird. Well, I'm just getting used to, like, being like, "My mother-in-law," or, like,
Yeah,
"My husband." Like, that is, like, brand fucking new. So I'm just like,
it's also
uh, th
weird.
it's weird and, like, I'm like, "Is it necessary?" But it's like, I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't mind saying husband, but if I say husband, I feel like I should have a house.
Yeah, I
Do
know,
you know
right?
what I mean? So I'd
Yeah,
like to say boyfriend until I get a house, and then I'll feel like a wife.
our generation will never have houses.
I know. I already know this and I hate it. Um, well, tell everybody where they can find you, plug all your shit. I'll
Yeah,
post it in the info too.
I'm at Mr. Will Miles, at MR Will Miles on everything, including TikTok. I have a TikTok now. It's at Mr. Will
Shut
Miles. I
up.
know, right? I have one clip, one stand-up clip that I did up there.
Hell yeah. And I
And,
bet everyone loves it.
I don't know. Who knows what I haven't even been on it in years. Years by that I mean 2 months.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Uh, and then Southside season 2 comes out on HBO Max on November 11th. Is that
Sick.
this will be out before then?
Maybe it'll be out like maybe like right around the time.
Oh, great.
So
So it might be
perfect.
on there already right now. So check that
Yeah.
out. And then what else? Oh, Sneak This. Follow through. Watch Sneak This on YouTube.
Yeah. Fuck
Yeah.
yeah. Well, thank you so much. You're the best. And yeah, guys, thanks for listening. And I will see you next time.
See you next time.